Yeah, what's up, YouTube? So I know I've not posted in a little while. That's because my second term has just started. Or at least it started, I think 2 weeks ago. So just recently. Um, but yeah, I'm navigating everything and I'm trying to get used to everything, right? Because I have new courses and new time schedule and everything. So trying to adjust and get used to everything. And I'm also going to my college campus gym as well. And I got caught recording. I didn't know I was not allowed to record in there, but apparently I'm not allowed to record. You're not allowed to record in that gym, which is fair enough. So that means that you guys will only be seeing videos on Mondays and Wednesdays, which is my push days and my leg days. So that's what's gonna happen. That's the new schedule is Monday and Wednesdays. Um, the other thing that's also changed is I'm doing a diet now, and the reason why I decided to do this is because I have a little bit too much excess fat in my body right now. I think on my waist area and my upper back and lower back. And a lot of the food that I'm eating doesn't seem to be going anywhere other than my waist area, which is not good at all. So a lot of people say that when you get to a lower body fat percentage, uh, it's a lot more easier to put on muscle. I don't know how. That's one thing that's very confusing. There's always kind of hasn't made a lot of sense to me in my mind because I always thought, how would eating less food help you build more muscle. You would figure eating more food would put on more muscle. But something happens there when you get to a low body fat percentage. I've never been, well, that's not true. I probably have been to a lower body fat percentage in my previous cutting. The last cutting cycle that I did, I was somewhat lean. I didn't, shoot, I don't remember what body fat percentage it was. But it's hard to say, man. I don't even remember what's. I don't. Shoot. I don't. Well, yeah. I probably don't keep close enough track of this. So I don't actually know what the leanest body fat percentage I've ever been probably is. I could take a guess based on what I remember from the last cutting cycle I did, which is a couple months ago, and I was maybe had some like pretty solid ab definition because I had the obliques that were showing. I even had some definition and what do you call it, separation in my calf, and then I also saw one line, I believe it's called on the quad, one line on the quad that was sticking out or showing at least. So I don't know what percentage that could be. Maybe 14, 15%. And I guess I'll try to beat it. Maybe I'll try to go lower than that, like 13, 12%. But it's gonna be very difficult, guys. I don't even know if I need to really go that low. But ideally, regardless of what's body percent fat I end up at the end of the cycle, I just need to get rid of the excess body fat, man. That's the main thing. Whatever low body fat percentage I get is that's not even the main priority. The main priority for me right now is focus on removing and getting rid of this excess fat that is on my upper back, my lower back, and my waist area. So the good news though is I think right now this is my second week of dieting. So I can already see some definition of my abs and my back. So that's really good. I'm already starting to see progress. So that's really fantastic because it's only my second week. So that might mean that this cutting cycle doesn't have to be that long. I can do a cut for maybe 1 to 2 weeks, or well, I say 1 2 weeks, 1 to 2 months. If I'm really consistent, I track everything. I'm still training hard. I'm not cheating on my diets. I'm maintaining the cardio, and I am doing the ab exercises and I'm following my diet, which is the main important one, right? Following your diet, that plays a massive role. And so if I can do all those things, then more likely than not, it will only take me maybe 1 or 2 months. And if I'm not consistent enough, then it could take 3 months. So that's my guess right there. So that's what I'm hoping for is because ideally I don't want to keep on prolonging the cycle. Because when you're cutting down, when you're cutting down, you're going to be losing some strength and some size. So it's going to get a lot worse, guys. You guys can tell I'm already struggling in these clips. I'm already having a hard time. It could get a lot worse. And because I'm 167.5, I'm going to be going a lot lower, right? A lot lower because, well, that's what I said, right? I have, this is my guess, it's probably 10 pounds of fat, maybe more. Uh, and once again, right, I don't have a scan right now or a DEXA scan. This gym doesn't have a DEXA scan. The Good Life Fitness I was going to, it did have a scan machine. Did have a DEXA scan machine, but this one does not. But if I were to do a scan, I would guarantee you that with the fat, because it's a layer of fat, right? I haven't measured the layer of fat. I should probably do that, but it's a layer of fat. It's on my upper back, lower back, and the waist area. So there's no chance. I was thinking, like, if I'm lucky, maybe it's only 5 pounds, but I have a feeling it's not 5 pounds, man, because you can't. Stuff like this is never. You can never underestimate it. It's normally a lot more than that. It's kind of when people say that, oh, maybe I'm 10, 11, 12, 13% body fat, and a lot of times they're not 10, 11, 12 13% body fat. They're like 15, 16, 17, 20% body fat. So they're a lot more higher than they think they are, or a lot more, yeah, a lot more higher than they think they are. So that's one thing that I have to consider here is chances are it's not 5 pounds. It's maybe 10 to 15 pounds, right? Um, so that's what's gonna happen. And going back to what I said, is I'm 167.5 right now. So if I lose another 10, 15 pounds, I want to be like 157.5 or in the 155, which is crazy, man. Because I think when I first started lifting, I was around that weight. When I very first started, I was around the 150s. So I'm gonna be going back. I'm gonna be going back to the starting weight that it used to be when I first started the gym, which is freaking crazy, guys. That is crazy. But the difference now, though, is I have a little bit more muscle mass and size. So it's gonna be very interesting to see what I look like when I lose that extra 10 to 15 pounds. Is We will see what happens, man. But I'm kind of excited because you guys can tell, like, in this little clip right here of me doing that double back bicep, it looks pretty nice, right? I can already see a lot more definition, so that's very exciting. So it's gonna be super sick, guys, to see if I can really see how hard I can push it. And obviously, going back to what I said, right? Dieting is not super easy, guys. Everybody has their own struggles. For some people, it's bulking. For some people, it's eating a lot of food. They have a really hard time. I used to be like that, right? I have a hard time eating a lot of food. And then for some people, it's the opposite. They have a hard time not eating food, right? Getting into the deficit. Cutting is very difficult, right? You have to be very restrictive on what you eat. But the same way kind of works when you're bulking. I used to think that when you're bulking, you can just eat whatever you want. And that is technically the best way to put on a lot of size. Is just eat whatever you want. The only problem is you can spill over. So that's kind of why when you're bulking, you technically still have to pay attention to what you're eating, and same goes for cutting and dieting down. So both of those bulking and cutting cycles, you have to pay attention to everything and track everything. So yeah, it's not easy. It's not very easy. And sorry if I'm repeating myself, but if I didn't bring this point up already, I'm going to go and say how my day went today. And today's at the time this I'm making this video is Tuesday, but I'll be posting this video on Wednesday, which is tomorrow, Wednesday. Um, I had a 4 hour class, and then I did I did my pull day, and I did some deadlifts today. But I forgot to bring my creatine, pre-workout, and caffeine. So none of that. No creatine, pre-workout, and caffeine for the deadlift session, which is kind of insane. But if I didn't repeat myself already, I got 18 reps, which is pretty good. 18 reps of 225, and no caffeine or anything, or pre-workout is kind of nuts. So I'm kind of happy with how that went. But then I went home and or I just got home now recently, not too long ago, and I was going to eat some food, but it's a little bit too late, right? Because I got home at 10. It's like 10 p.m. now, so I don't want to cook at this time. I just prefer not to. I'm honestly just too tired. I'm honestly too too tired to go down, or maybe lazy. I don't know whether lazy or tired, or just don't have the energy to go down and cook, even though it's only gonna take 10, 15 minutes. I just don't want to. So I decided instead of eating, I'm just gonna eat tomorrow. So I'm gonna be skipping my food, and which is not good, guys. You're not supposed to do that. Um, After a training session, I highly recommend you guys, even when you're dieting down, you need to eat something, get something in. Don't just skip your food, okay, guys? Do not do that. But but yeah, that's how rough it is, guys. It is not easy. And the thing about that too is, after you come back for a hard training session, the last thing you want to do probably is cook. You want to munch on something, right? You want to munch or snack on something. Maybe while I'm cooking, I'll eat some chips while I'm cooking, or I'll eat some candy, or I don't know, whatever muffin or whatever you got going on, right, while I'm cooking. That way, because I'm so hungry. But that's the thing when you're dieting, is you just can't do that, and that's why it's so difficult. Because man, it's like I'm starving, but I can't eat anything. It's like shit, dude. Um, but anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for me. Um, Sorry, guys, I know I've rambled a little bit, but I'll see you guys next time.